people were like calling me, oh my goodness, what are you doing? I had one of my sisters that called me and said, what is this nonsense that you're doing? Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yeni. If you're new, you're welcome. I'm very, very excited to have you here with me this week. This week, I want to talk about my vegan journey. I don't even know if I should say journey or challenge, but I started about 7 months ago. I decided, I just wanted to eat healthy, especially when the pandemic, hit us. I decided that it was about time for me to start taking care of myself, taking care of my body. After some certain age, that your body doesn't forgive you so easily anymore. So I decided that I wanted to eat a bit more healthier than I'd done in the past before. And one of the things that, when I started talking about mindful eating, and one of the things that stuck out most to me is the vegan diet. Now, I know I say diet, but I use it loosely because I've found out that a lot of people that follow the vegan diet don't really see it as a diet. They see it as a way of life, which, is fantastic. It is great. What actually now made me more appreciative, actually, of this way of living, a way of life, or diet, if you may, is that I attended a conference, and in the conference there was a lot of studies that have been done on this plant-based diet. And I just thought, this is something that I would like to try. Especially as a clinician, I wanted something that when I talk to my patients about, I just don't want it to be me saying it because I read it from a textbook, but I also wanted to experience it as well. So I started, first in the first month. When I started, I just went just without red meat only. I picked it up really, really gradually. And then from there to where I am now, I would say, I have been vegan, and it's been 7 months so far. And I look back, this is the beginning of 2021, and I look back and I really just kind of did a review. I really want to um, come and share, especially as African, how hard is this, or how hard has it been? Because I've got a lot of questions, and a lot of people are like calling me, oh my goodness, what are you doing? I had one of my sisters that called me and said, what is this nonsense that you're doing? If you're African, you understand where I'm coming from. So, and I just wanted to just come and share my why, and some of the things that I've learned along the way, and also how it's going to be moving on from here. A lot of times when people go vegan, they do it because of the environment, which is fantastic. They do it because of cruelty to animals. And, people talk about the way these animals are slaughtered, and stuff like that. All those are good reasons. I have no personal, I don't have a problem with that. But for me as an African, it's just a little bit hard. I grew up knowing that animals that are made to be eaten should be eaten, right? So it's just a bit hard for me to kind of understand that, even though I have no problem against people that are doing the good cause and saying that, hey, I want to contribute my part by not eating meat because, the way these animals are being treated, and that is fine. But I speak my why. The main reason I decided that I was going to avoid meat was because of my health. So that's my big why. I look at myself, I look at my family history, and I see some things in there like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, a little bit of pre-diabetes I see in my family line. And I don't want to have any of that. I know that when I attended that conference, they really just emphasized on how you can actually see food as medicine. That food can actually be used to reverse a lot of the chronic illness that people deal with. Take something like blood pressure, for example. When you have high blood pressure, If you start like, exercising, eating right, low sodium, lose some weight without medication, you can actually reverse your blood pressure. Same thing with diabetes as well, especially type 2 diabetes. Now, I am not speaking and giving you recommendation as a clinician. I am just sharing my own experience and what I've learned so far. Everybody should talk to their doctors before making any medical changes. Even before making dietary changes, you need to talk to your doctor. I'm going to put some link in the description box that really just, can help you if you want to learn more about how you can use your diet to change some chronic illnesses, even up to things like anxiety and depression. It was a very that conference that I attended was a very eye opening conference for me, being that I come from traditional medicine. Now to now hear how some way of functional medicine can actually help to alleviate diseases and illnesses. It was very very interesting. So for me, the journey, man, in the beginning, it was such a struggle. It was so much of a struggle because it's a change, and anytime you make a change, your body would definitely resist you. Your body doesn't want you to make that change, right? So in the beginning, I just struggled. I struggled with, of course, sugar withdrawal. I struggled with craving. I'm not like a big dairy person to start with, so I don't have any problem with dairy. But things like seafood, ooh, yeah. The point I was like craving shrimps, like I need to eat shrimps. But I was just able to kind of scale through that. And at this point, I don't even remember what it tastes like anymore. And I know that because my family doesn't, you, my family still eats meats, and I still make meals for them, and it doesn't affect me. And I don't go like eating what they eat. I just make my own food. I'm not imposing, where I'm at now on my family. I'm just doing my own thing. Now, when I look at, food, I just kind of, especially with veggies, I think of how can I make this thing, or how can I prepare it in a tasty way. Initially, I was thinking, oh, I hate salad. I was talking to someone and she said to me, salad makes me depressed. I hear that, especially as an African. Salad is not like a main meal for us. Of course, we consume veggies, but not cold, right? So, cold food most times, I don't do well with cold food. I really like a hot food, in terms of the temperature, not just the spiciness. I like spicy food as well. So now when I see veggies, I think of how can I make this more tasty. I don't think that, oh, this thing is bland. I take it up as a challenge, and I want to know how can I make it more tasty. What seasoning can I add to this? I always, when I go grocery shopping, I go to the veggies, become my favorite part of any grocery store. I go to where they have, the green vegetables, and I look at the different vegetables, like, I wonder if I make this one, what is going to turn out like. So it's just become like a game, like a fun thing for me to do. The weight loss, the weight loss is just been a good reward, I would say, because I didn't start all this to lose weight. My BMI was in the right range when I started. But then the first 30 days of just being off of red meat, I lost 10 pounds. And now it's 7 months, I've lost 17, 18 pounds, because a couple of, I think last week or thereabout, I was losing, was saying it was 18, but this morning it was 17. So I would say an average of 17 pounds is what I have lost without sweating it, really. I know that when I exercise, my most vigorous exercise is when I bike, and that is usually in the summer. But with biking, at most I would lose maybe 1 or 2 pounds when I bike. And with this 17 pounds without even asking for it, it's been a good addition to this experience so far. So really, I tell people, if you're serious about weight loss and you really want to lose weight, this is one diet I would say that you should try. Give it a try. Some people are like, I've tried everything, and how about you give this a try? The plant-based diet is one that would help you to lose weight. Give it a try and let me know how you do with it. The skin, my skin is popping. Um, I, I know I've said it in other videos before, but I want to say it again. If you're struggling with your skin, oh man, change what you eat. Change what you eat. This is being another addition to the change that I made. Skin is way better than it was. So yeah, very interesting. Some of the things that people just ask and they feel that there's no way you can be getting enough nutrients on, are you sure you're getting your protein? If you don't, like my son said to me, if you don't eat meat, how are you getting your protein? But there's so many ways that you can get your protein. I know people worry about protein, right? Your protein you can get from your beans and your legumes, um, chickpeas, your lentils, all different kind of beans that we have out there. They can actually give you more than enough protein that you need. Except you're not eating right. That's another thing, because there's some people that go vegan, but they're not eating balanced. No matter the diet that you're on, or no matter what you're eating, if you're not eating a balanced meal, then there's no way you can get all your nutrients. So you can be vegan and not get enough protein if you're not eating balanced. You have to make sure that you're balancing your meals out. For you to get enough protein, I feel that beans and legumes goes a long way. You cannot be malnourished on vegan diet. Another thing that people worry about is the B12. Vitamin B12, I know really you get a lot of that from your meats. With a vegan diet, you can get some from plants, but what I've learned so far is that it's not, you don't absorb it as much as you would when they come in meat. And I would really, um, my advice to people is you can supplement on your B12. I don't think it's much of a big deal. I went to my doctors already after 6 months of doing this, and I checked my B12. My B12 was normal. The other stuff is iron and vitamin D. For me, chronically, my iron has always been low. I know I should be supplementing, but I don't like taking pills, so I've not been supplementing. So my iron was low as expected, not because of the diet. And also my vitamin D. Those were the two things that were low for me when I went to the doctors last week. So I know in the past I've been recommended to take vitamin D, but I've not paid attention to it. But now I really, have to pay attention to it. So vitamin D, your B12, your protein, and sometimes people say calcium. Calcium, I know you can get from also your legumes, your beans, you can get, calcium from that. Your green leafy vegetables, you don't want to play with it. It has a lot of nutrients. Absolutely has a lot of nutrients. Your B12 is in it, your vitamin D is in it, your calcium is in it. So if you're vegan, you should be loading up on green vegetables. And I talk about your spinach, your kale, just this kind of vegetables. They actually help you to load up on those nutrients. Moving on, really, after 7 months of doing this, with all that I've learned and all, there's some things that I'm gonna make changes with. For one, I'm gonna stop calling myself a vegan. I don't think I am. I don't, I think it's disrespectful really for me to even say I'm vegan. Because for one, I use honey in my tea. Somebody told me that, oh, honey is an animal product, so you shouldn't be calling yourself vegan if you're using honey. And I'm reducing my sugar, so if I want to use honey. So, there's no debate about it. Don't call me vegan. I'm not calling myself vegan anymore. Now just say I'm going to be plant-based. And with the plant-based, what I want to do is still the same thing. What it means is I'll be consuming more of plants and little or no meats at all. But what I really want to do is I look at things like my crayfish. Crayfish, if you don't know, the tiny shrimps that we use as Africans to spice up our food. I want to go back to using crayfish to spice up my food. If I'm not going to eat meat, at least I want my food to be well seasoned. So crayfish is one that I I miss. Shrimp, I know I said that I stopped missing shrimp, but I really want to every now and then put some seafood in my food. But it's not going to be much. I think I'm just going to go by, they say, the 80 to 20%. So 20% of my meal might be um, non plant, while 80% will be plant. And I'll do that for maybe another 6 months, and I'll come back and tell you guys what changes or what experience I've had with that. Overall, the goal is just to be more healthier. The goal is to eat mindfully. The goal is to take care of ourselves, take care of our body, right? Of our bodies. So that's it, guys. And I want to throw out the challenge. And the challenge is just going to be for 10 days, just 10 days only. No meat. And I'm not saying that it's not vegan. I'm just saying no meat for 10 days. No meat for 10 days. Come with me, guys. Let's do this challenge together. 10 days challenge of no meat. Absolutely no meat. And let me know how you do with 10 days without having any meat at all. Just being on plants as much as you can. Share what you're going to eat with me. I'll put my email there. You can also tag me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Tag me, send me pictures of what you're eating. For us in this 2021, we want to eat better. We want to do better, right? We want to be as healthy as we can be. So come with me, guys. Let's do this challenge. If you know that you're going to take up this challenge, 10 days vegan or 10 days no meat challenge, leave a comment for me in the comment section. It's been my pleasure coming to you guys. Share your experiences with me. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.